Hello, and welcome to i-nastava. Today's English class is for the third year. It's called A Perfect Match. My name is Stephanie Kate Lukač, and I'll be your teacher for the day. By the end of the class, you will have written a self-analysis. Also, you'll have created an infographic. For the class, you'll need your notebook, something to write with, a device with internet connection, and if possible, a QR code scanner. Feel free to pause the video anytime you need. Take a moment for the beginning and think about the answers to these questions. Also write them down. Which jobs do you think are perfect for you? Why do you feel that they're the perfect fit? Hold on to them because we're going to take a look later on as to your answers and other possibilities. So to begin with, there are many possibilities where you can get help when you're thinking about your perfect career, what you want to do after high school, this kind of thing. Well, some kids even think about this before high school when they're choosing maybe a trade school, for example. But some kids do some online research. So they search, what the job entails, what education they have to have, qualifications, any job trends, for example, this kind of thing. Others feel that they would like to talk to someone. So whether it be your parents, maybe your teachers, or perhaps you know some professionals who are in that line of work, and then you get a chance to talk to them about, well, everything that interests you. If possible, some kids volunteer or get a part-time job. Again, this is not a possibility with every job, but if you can, it's great. There are other things such as career fairs. I know a lot of places that have them around Croatia once a year. So some kids like to check it out. And one other possibility is to try out an online career test. So you've got many areas and possibilities where you can look for, what you want to do when you're thinking about it. So for your first little task, although I think will be more fun rather than, work, because you're going to use the link, see test 123, or use the QR code, whichever you prefer, and it'll take you to an online career test. So it's actually pretty fun. I tried it out, and I did get, among others, teaching. So uh, my guess is I've hit the mark kind of thing, although I think I already felt that even such a long time ago. So give it a shot. After going through the quiz and you saw your results, take a look at that first list that I asked you to make about what you think your perfect job is and why. Were those results that you just took in the online quiz in line with the choices that you made? In which ways do they differ? And has the quiz made you reconsider? So did you maybe find some surprising results? You were like, you had never thought about this career, but it might make sense, or something. So kind of using your list with the results from the quiz to maybe even broaden your horizons and see, maybe there are other options out there. Maybe there's something you hadn't thought about at all, but according to the quiz. I mean, the quizzes aren't 100% foolproof and oh, that has to be mine, but you get some kind of idea about what would be good for your personality, and what is aligned with your values, and whatever that you look for when looking for a job. So also to help you out, you'll use this link, A1 Future, or the QR code again, and it'll take you to a list of up and coming careers. So this is the part where I mentioned, job trends. What's up and coming? What is kind of not erasing as like a job or a career, but that it's not looked for anymore. Because you don't want to go through, I don't know how many years of university, for example, or college, and then in the end you can't find a job. So this list might help you out. I'd like you to choose one area that you feel you might be interested in, and when you click on, take notes about the future trends, the declining occupations, this, what you see. Make a summary of this information and give your opinion. So take notes on all these things, like with your summary and your opinion and everything, because in the end, you're going to make a 1-minute recording about your findings and your opinion. Don't forget to send the recording to your teacher, and hopefully you'll find some new information that you might not have learned from before. Good luck. So for your next task, here you're going to watch a video. The 5 Things Career link you can use, or again the QR code. Watch the video, and as you go along, take notes about what 5 things are mentioned and why are they important. Now, the why are they important part isn't for like all 5 things, but you'll see as you go along. And also take notes on what the numbers 13 and 1/3, what they mean in the video. Why are they important? I think you'll find the video useful in any case as to, what you need to help you to come to a decision. So I hope you found that video useful, especially, as you start thinking about what you want to do and find out, what you can do to help yourself come to that decision. So the 5 things that they mentioned were interests, the things that you enjoy doing. So, of course, the more likely that you find something enjoyable, you're going to have more motivation to do it, right? Talents, the things that you're naturally good at doing. Skills, something that you do well but is learned, right? So talents is something like, you're born with kind of thing. Skills is something that you, as you grow up, become better at. Your values, so your beliefs or ideas that are important to you, because you're going to be dissatisfied at work if they're not in line with each other. So like your job's in line with your values. Like if you have to do something that you believe is wrong as a part of your job, you're not going to enjoy your job. And the last part that they mentioned was job outlook. So the estimated change in the number of people employed in that occupation. That kind of comes to like the link that you guys had done just a little while back. So why it's important is, it determines your ability to find a job. So as I said, if some jobs are kind of like weaving out, I don't know how I would say it, you regardless of your education, you're not going to be able to find a job. So what are you going to do, right? Also, earning potential. So, depending on what the trends are, maybe, some salaries are, getting higher and higher. Some might be going lower and lower, depending on, what area you're looking at, and not to mention, where you'd like to work. So, some jobs have different places of work. Like, for example, nurses. It's not just, that they can work in the hospital. They might work in a doctor's office. For emergency services, every single part that they have, has a different paycheck. So it's these 5 things are something to consider when you're looking for what you would like to do. And as I had asked you to do earlier, so the numbers 13 and 1/3. So I found this really surprising that only 13% of all people actually enjoy their job. And I have to say, I feel lucky enough that I'm one of those 13%. If I were, well, of course, if I were in America, but I think those numbers are pretty similar anywhere in the world. And 1/3, again, I didn't really think about it, but yeah, so my guess is at least 1/3, because some people have been working even longer, like with, part-time jobs in high school and whatever, is how much of your life is spent at work. So at least 1/3 of your life you're working. And considering the fact that if you don't like what you're doing, your life is going to seem pretty long. So I think it's really important to, get into tune with what you want to do and actually do what you want to do, not what somebody else tells you that they think you should do. Because, like I said, if you're miserable, all the money in the world in that job can't help you out with that. I mean, that's at least my opinion. That doesn't mean I'm right, but if I didn't love teaching, I think that I probably wouldn't do it. And, because my days, let alone, 24 years, how long I've been doing this, would be an extremely long time to do it if I didn't love it. I'd like you to take a moment and pause the video, of course, while you're writing down these 5 areas for yourself. So from the video, right, that we had just watched, so what your interests are, what your talents are, what your skills are, what your values are. And take a look at that first list that you made at the beginning of the lesson and the job outlook for those jobs. Okay? So take a moment, write these all down, and then you'll see in 1 second again what we'll do next. So I'd like you to take a look at the list you've just made and compare it to the list that you made at the beginning of the lesson with like what you thought would be your perfect career at the beginning, if you recall. Well, I'm sure you do. But take a look and see, do these results mesh together? Like, are they in a line? What you've just written with what your choices are about, like your perfect career. How do they differ, if at all? And has the video made you think about more options? So kind of looking at everything all together, would you still stick to these choices that you thought would be your perfect career at the beginning of the lesson? Or has anything changed? It's okay if things change, because, I mean, you might make it to next year and think of something totally different as your future career, as graduation comes nearer and this kind of stuff. So that's okay if things change, or if you see, well, maybe this won't be right for me because, I don't know, you don't have these certain talents or skills, or, and for example, with skills, if you don't have some, how can you learn them? How can you, become an expert in these skills? This kind of thing. So take a look and see how they kind of coincide or differentiate. So for this next task, I'd like you to open the link 9 Jobs Day, or use the QR code again. And you'll find an article about why some people stay in the wrong career or stay in the wrong job. So like they're miserable and whatever, and see what happens. There'll be another task to follow after this, but I think you might find this useful as well, because, some people stay because other people tell them to, or, they think they're going to be happy making a lot of, like, I don't know, maybe like a larger salary. Maybe their dream job is like a little bit lower salary, but you can still live comfortably. So, it depends on, people's priorities and stuff. But take a look at the link, take a look at the article, and then we'll see you in a bit. So I hope you found the article useful. So with the next task, I'd like you to use 9 Job Vocab to open the link. You can see that on the screen, what it entails, but go through online this little task where you're matching the phrases with the definitions. Don't forget to send your results to your teacher as well. Okay, and before we go on, I'd like you to pause the video and write down, copy these questions. You're going to do a listening task in a bit. So you're going to have to answer true or false to these 6 statements. You'll see in a second. Once you've gone through this listening task with the questions, if you need a second time, which you probably will, go back into the video and listen one more time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our career fair that we've arranged for you to visit. Before we get off the bus, let's go over a few pointers. All the college booths, or college corner, are on the left side upon entry. There you'll be able to see all the different colleges around the country, as well as the programs they offer. Of course, your first priority is to check out the undergraduate degree programs. However, you may want to see what their graduate or postgraduate programs are all about. Aim high. There are numerous college representatives at each booth, so you don't have to wait a long time to talk to someone about any questions that you may have. Once you've gone through this area, we'll meet up at the center of the fair near the cafe and restaurant area. By this time, it will be midday, so we'll take a break for some refreshments or a bite to eat. You can't miss the signs above. The Chow Down District. There are a variety of food stalls, from fast food to salad bars. There's something for everyone. Since food and beverages haven't been included in the price for our day trip, you'll have to pay for it yourselves. After about an hour, we'll continue to the opposite area of the fair, which is the Career Corner. Here you'll be able to meet representatives from various companies all over Croatia. Feel free to talk to them and obtain information regarding employment possibilities. Check out their booth. Think about whether you can see yourself working for them after you're finished school. They may just have what you're looking for, so take this opportunity to use your notes that we took last class and ask all the information that you want to know. Oh yes, in both the college and career corners, you can take the leaflets and brochures they have free of charge. We'll meet up in front of the bus at 5 o'clock here in the parking lot. Please don't be late, as the drivers don't want to get caught up in a traffic jam on our way home. If by chance you get lost or have any problems, feel free to call me on my cell phone at 099 555 4600. See you during the lunch break.
Okay, so let's check it over. The first stop in the career fair was to see the higher education facilities. That one's true. The second question, where the students will solely obtain information on undergraduate degree programs, is false. They'll all gather at noon for food and drinks. That one was true. The right side of the fair consists of booths regarding job recruitment. It's true. The students haven't prepared for the fair beforehand. That one's false. And they must pay for the marketing materials. That one's false. I hope it wasn't too difficult. If any of you had like a little bit more incorrect answers, go back one more time and listen while you're looking at the answers, so see where the problems were. For your final task, I'd like you to choose your perfect dream job. So take a look again at your first list that you'd made. See if they still check out. If you decide to do something else, that's fine. Okay, so it's not etched in stone. But in any case, I'd like you to do some research on the job description, what responsibilities there are for this job, the skills or level of education that you need, the average salary, job outlook. So, is it coming up in trend? Is it kind of, decreasing, whatever, this kind of thing. And I'd like you to make an infographic. So showcase your creativity. Just be careful that you're using free images. That's the one thing that you don't want to forget. And don't forget to hand it in to your teacher. Pause the video to go over this checklist to make sure that you have everything necessary before you hand your infographic to your teacher. And before we sign off, I'd like you to answer 3 questions. Which 3 jobs would you say could be perfect for you? Are they still the ones off your list, or are you thinking of something else? Which 2 skills would you say you have for those perfect jobs? And which job would you never choose and why? So I hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and I hope you've learned something new along the way. In any case, stay safe, stay healthy, and take care of yourself.